Hi everyone, I welcome you all to this webinar on skills for the modern workforce. I'm delighted to have Chanya Kapoor here as a speaker for this webinar. Let me tell you a few things about Chanya here first. Chanya is the founder of two platforms, Policyfide and Zenfide. Both platforms are driven to provide career support and learning experience for their students and for working professionals. Academically, she has master's in public policy from St. Xavier's College, Mumbai. She has previously worked with the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare at the as a communication consultant. Interned with NDTV, Government of India, and multiple NGOs throughout her academic journey. Now, over to you, Chanya.
Hi everyone, thank you all for joining in. I'll just share in my screen. Just give me 1 second, please. So how's everyone? I hope everyone has had a good Friday and excited for weekend. And I'm super excited to see you all today. So today's session is mostly about skills that we all are actually engaged in learning on daily basis. What a best thing and one thing about skills is that it is something that you do not have to dedicate hours and hours to learn. It is something that you can start from your day by making integrating into your daily lives, into your daily routines and schedules. And skill building is something that is a process. It's a lifelong learning process, and that is something we'll be discussing it today. And I'm hoping to learn more about all of you today in this session. So I have certain questions for you. You can use the chat box to answer this, and let me know what. We'll take one minute for each question. The first question is, what is your chosen study program? If you guys are in your master's, your undergrad, or in whatever college you guys are, what actually are you guys studying? If it's possible to share for you in the chat box, please. Okay, MBA, HR, BTech, computer science, all right. Accounts and finance, MBA, BTech, interesting, MTech, MSc in data science, BTech, BBA, marketing, BCom, BTech. Okay, amazing. So real estate, BTech. So it's a mix, a combination of masters and undergrad students. Especially, I think we have lots of computer science and engineering students out here. We have BCom, MBA finance, BTech and CSC, LLB. Amazing. We even have law kids also here. Amazing. Okay. Great. I'll go to my next question now. Just give me 1 second, please. Yes. What exactly are you guys looking for? Like, are you guys looking for a job? Are you guys looking for internships? Which stage of your careers are you in? Job. Okay. Amazing. All right. So most of everyone has mostly written jobs. Two of them have written internship, both. Okay. Internship, remote job. All right. Great. Both. Okay, so most of you are looking for jobs and some of them are looking for remote jobs, internships, final year looking for job. Okay, Mansi. HR executive job in aerospace and mechanical industries, internship. Okay, perfect. My last question is, what descriptions, what job roles are you looking for? I think one of them, Atif has shared it elaborately of what he is looking for. Give me some idea what exactly are you guys looking for in the chat box, please. Software development, software web development, analyst. Okay. Taxation. All right. Backend. Okay. Database care management, software development, executive assistant, finance manager, data analytics, developer, Java developer, ICICI Bank data entry. That's a very specific Anil that you're looking for right now. Okay. Anyone else wants to add to it? Currently, I'm working in bench scales recruiter. Okay, perfect. So we'll go ahead with this. We're closing this off. So thank you so much for sharing what exactly are you guys looking for, where you are in your careers right now. And in this process, it's a process essentially. Looking like our careers are spread across decades. We all know about it. It's just not our 20s or 30s. It's in our 40s and 50s, and we keep growing across decades. The market trends change, industries change, and that is something we have to be equipped with the skills to explore new positions, to get new experiences and opportunities. As most of you are in college right now in different masters and bachelor programs, it's a great opportunity for you guys to get new experiences, to explore new opportunities, and to explore your interest, to know what you're good at. Like if you're studying, for instance, computer sciences, it's not the only space you have to be good at. You can be a great writer also. You can be a great communicator also. You can be a great listener also. So these are some skills. And when you're looking for jobs, there are combination of skills that are used and that you keep boosting for yourself and you keep developing for yourself. Okay, I think most of people have written more things. Great, thank you guys. Just in this process, planning out is a very interesting part of it. It helps you set down the goals that you want to achieve in your career, what you want to do for yourself, and how you want to do this. So honestly, and like when I was in my college during even my masters, I did masters in public policy from St. Xavier's, and that is the first time I actually started writing down on what I wanted to do, what I'm good at, and what kind of skills I wanted to learn. So, since public policy, if some of you know, is a very holistic course where you get to study statistics, econometrics, and some parts of social sciences, I realized that I was not really good with statistical tools like R, SQL, etc. And that is something, that is one area which I took for myself to learn it. So, building a plan basically helps you to discover who you are, what you like to do, like which things do you like to do. Do you like to code? Do you like to manage people out? Are you a good analyst? Are you a good researcher? Research needs patience. Do you have that skill with you? What do you do, like what you're good at right now, and what you can do best. What you can do best means like if you put more focus into that space, if you spend some more time on that skill, maybe that is something that you can develop for yourself. So, as I shared my example only, when I was doing my master's, I was very terrible with using statistical tools like R. And that is something I took for myself. I took some online courses, some programs, took some mentorship from my professors to learn that out so that when I go to the job market after my master's, I can find some right internships for myself and right job opportunities. If a role needs me to know R, I should know R, at least the basics of R. That should not be stopping me from getting my dream job or getting into my dream organization. So planning is something that is like an essential part of every plan. When you write down things that this is something I want to learn, you're setting a goal for yourself. You're setting, that's your step number one of putting a plan into action. So recently, McGraw and Hill Education Workforce, they did a survey on this, where they realized the students that were part of this survey, they realized कि जो skills that they were when they were going to job market, when they were going to offices, when they were going to workplaces, that the college did not really equip them with the right skills they needed to get into it. And some of the respondents shared these top 4 skills for them that they found problematic for them. First is solving complex problems. 43% of the respondents of this survey found that they didn't know how to solve complex problems. Second is resume writing. 37% of the respondents found that. Interviewing 34% and job searching 31%. So I think let's take a minute to understand. Do you guys find these any of these 4 areas is something that is your pain point also, and you want to work on this? Let's go solving complex problems. If you're looking to build the skill, write yes in the chat box. If you're not, write no. Let's use this. Let's take a minute to do so. Okay, yes, no. Okay. Okay, great. So I think 70 to 80% people are agreeing that they want to build the skill out. All right. Okay. So we have 80 to 85% of respondents have told in our chat box right now that they want to build out this skill. Next, let's go on resume writing. How many of you think that they can build amazing resumes, and how many of you think that you can use some practice or some help in building amazing resumes for yourself? If you want to learn, write a yes. If you are good at it, write a no. All right. Yes, yes, no. Okay. All right. Great. Okay. Okay, so again, we have 85 to 90% who want to learn it, and 10% are quite confident that they know how to build resumes for themselves. It's resume writing is one skill that actually takes time. And one tip for that is that you have to tailor it to every organization that you are sending to. You can't send same resumes everywhere. I think I'll be talking about it in detail in some minutes. Interviewing. How many of you are amazing at interviewing themselves? And how many of you want to learn? If you want to learn, write a yes. If you're good at it, write a no. Yes. Okay. All right. I think one of the most important parts when you're sitting for an interview is how to, when they ask you, tell us about yourself, is to put those, your journey, put your experiences in very concise and crisp form. And that is the art of storytelling. Like when you are telling your story to someone, how do I keep myself in the loop? Shraddha is saying, I think I'm good, but needs revision and practice. Absolutely, Shraddha. If you want to build a skill, you have to revise it. You have to practice it out as much as you can. So when actually even Steve Jobs, when he used to prepare himself to launch a new Apple product, there's a book that I was reading on it. He used to practice his pitch so many times at so many people, and he used to take the feedback from it and kept revising his pitch until it was perfect and he could go on stage to do it. So this skill is absolutely very relevant even when you're pitching yourself, even when you're pitching yourself in interviews or at a stage. Fourth is job searching. How many of you find job searching a task? And how many of you have cracked the process for yourself? If you're still learning how to crack it, write a yes. If you know it, write a no. Yes, yes. No, okay. I think we have 90 to 95% people agreeing that it's a task and it's a process, especially in this current economic situation. It definitely is, yes. Okay, great. So now we have understood what kind of skills that we are looking for, and data and research tells that these are the four skills that are so important to transition to workplace. But there's one more skill sets that I'm going to share with you, and I would like to hear what do you guys think about this. Is this combination of skills. So as per LinkedIn Workplace Survey of 2023, what LinkedIn did is they took out some skills from the job postings that they have on their platform and some standout skills that recruiters keep looking on the platform for when they're posting out jobs, when their HR heads are posting out posts also about what kind of jobs. So these are the top 10 skills that LinkedIn has listed as the skills that companies need the most, irrespective of role. If you're applying for an analyst, if you're applying for a software developer or researcher, or any other position that you guys shared, these are the 10 skills that LinkedIn has noted out as the most important ones. And if you would see, it's a combination of power skills and technical skills. Can anyone give me one hint of what power skills and is like, what is power skills? On the chat box only, please. Leadership skills, yes, yes, absolutely. So power skills, aka is soft skills. We used to call it soft skills, behavioral skills. Absolutely, Mohammed Ismail, that's the right representation. leadership skills and behavioral skills both come under power skills. We still call it actually as soft skills, but at Zenfide and in academic spheres also, it's called power skills, because when you're calling it as soft skills, you are undermining the power that it has. And leadership, management, communication, how you talk to people is important on how you get the job that you're looking for. So when you see these 10 skills, it's a combination of it's a combination of power skills and technical skills. And if you see, all these 10 skills are interdependent to each other. Now, for instance, if you're not great at communication, if you're not a good speaker, if you can't write well, you can't be a great customer in service. Like, for instance, if you can't make your sales pitch to your customer or to your vendor or to your client, if you can't communicate what your company does, what your work is, you can't convert it into a sale. That is a technical skill. If you're not good at management, how would you be managing your teams? How would you be part of teams that are in marketing, analytical skills, research, project management? And if you're not a great team worker, how would you survive in all the teams? In any organization that you go in, these 10 skills will come handy to you irrespective of job description that you're going for. Any of these skills, do you find that you are very, like, you think that this is one skill that I am very good at? Any of these top 10 skills? You can just use the chat box to share that. Choose any of the 10, one skill each of you. Yeah. Okay. Research, Arpit. Sales, Rajendra. Management, Naveen. Okay, very good. Mohit, leadership. All right. Research, teamwork. Okay, amazing. Management. Right. Teamwork, marketing. All right. Analytical skills. Management, teamwork. Okay. Great. Okay. So that's a great overview of understanding what skills are there in the market that market is looking for and what skills you are very great at. Flexibility, analytical skills, Simran, okay, teamwork, amazing. So we have a great combination of skills in this Zoom call also that adds a great to a team, comes to a team also. Analytical skills and teamwork. So Darshanam, that's a great combination of skills that you have built for yourself. It's a technical skill and teamwork. That's a power skill. You should definitely, if you think these are your strengths, you should definitely look for positions and internship opportunities which can help you harness this out for yourself. Great. I'll go to the next slide then. So why when if I'm talking about a combination of power and technical skills, oh sorry, I'm so sorry, Sriman, for mispronouncing your name. Yes. When we are talking about combination of skills, why we should be building out the combination? Why not just be, if I'm good at research, I should keep working on research only and not be a great communicator or not be great at management? Like, why do I need to do this? Have you ever seen a job description for let's say for a software developer which just asks for a technical skill and not ask for not list down strengths like communication, is a great worker in a team, has etiquette to talk to team members, something like this? Have you guys seen this out in job descriptions that you see? Great, never. Okay, great. So we all have seen like job descriptions that do not just ask for technical skill, but also you have to be great with managing your team. If you're looking for managerial positions, if you're looking at an analyst team, you should be able to talk to other people properly, or should be able to adhere to the organizational culture, structure, and work ethics. So there's a codependency of both types of skills. Existence of one skill cannot help you go ahead in one organization after one time. If you have joining as an analyst, you want to go to a senior analyst, you should have the capabilities and you should have the skills to manage those out, to grow in your career. So to perform well at your work, you need to have a combination. There's a codependency. Next point is it boosts morale, productivity, and performance. If you're able to put your point ahead to your manager or to someone who is basically senior to you in your organization, you can let them know what your requirements are, what are your expectations from your job, and once you're able to convey very efficiently or what you are looking for, you can it helps you, it boosts your performance, productivity, etc. Next is better opportunities for growth and development. So, as per the recent data, when a person is looking for a job, they look for what kind of opportunities are they getting to learn at that workplace. Have you ever heard someone say that I'm going in this organization to learn the work? What kind of work comes handy? Similarly, if you're able to build a mix of skills for yourself, you're building a space for yourself to grow and develop your overall job experience. Exploring options and interests is important. So at this stage where you are in your bachelor's and master's, exploring options of what kind of things you want to learn for yourself, what kind of new tech that is coming in, or what kind of new courses that are out in the market to find what skills can you build for yourself, interests. So knowing what you are interested in is very important. What kind of skills come handy to you, what kind of skills you want to build for yourself, and what are you good at. That is important to know. But for this, there's an essential concept that comes handy is growth mindset. Has anyone of you ever heard of this concept, growth mindset? You can use a chat box to write yes or no for this. No, okay, yes, yes. So growth mindset is exactly what the term is. Growth mindset. Mindset is how you view opportunities around you, how you view your strengths as. Knowing your own strengths is the great kickstarter for you to build a mindset for yourself. To explain whoever it does is not familiar, and it's a new concept for you, so it's a great chance for you to learn about what growth mindset is. So growth mindset and fixed mindset. Growth mindset helps you develop skills through persistence and consistency. That if I don't know this skill today, I can learn it tomorrow, or I can do something to learn this out. Capable of learning through focus on, and a fixed mindset person is like there's a no solution of to this problem because I don't know this skill. Learning from failures, I'm not good enough, is fixed mindset. Motivation to persevere after mistakes and receptive to feedback. Hearing what others have to say about what you have done, what your manager has to say about what kind of work you have done. That's what growth mindset is exactly. Is it clear? Like, if you have any questions about growth mindset, we can do it in the Q&A round as well. So how to get started for growth mindset? The first step is embrace your imperfections. If you think you're not good at it, acknowledging it and understanding that this is the skill that I want to build for myself is the step number one. See challenges as opportunities for growth. If you're finding yourself being stuck at some position, see how you can come out of it. That's a great space for you to use your problem solving skills. How to solve problems for yourself. If there's a challenge, how do I solve it and get out of it? Replace negative words with positive phrases, like replace failure with learning, for instance. Acknowledge yourselves and others. It's a great leadership skill to acknowledge what others are doing and what you are doing in the organization or within a internship or a college society, etc. So now, once there's a growth mindset is there for you and you know exactly where you are, you know the skills that you can build your edge. Once you know which skills, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, which areas you want to build for yourself, and which areas will come very handy to you in your job, you're ready to build skills for yourself that can give you an edge, that will make you different from other people that are applying for similar positions or jobs. So, first skill is emotional intelligence. Has any of one of you think that they're great at emotional intelligence? Okay, have you ever heard of the concept of emotional intelligence? Yes or no? Simple, we'll take a count on that. No, okay. All right, no, no. Great. Okay. So I think we have a 50-50 response on emotional intelligence. I think we all have heard about IQ. Every time, all of us have seen it in our high schools, teachers talking about IQ. Similarly, emotional intelligence is a similar concept that is also called as EQ, emotional quotient. Emotional intelligence describes one's ability to understand, identify, and manage their own emotions. Like, for instance, if I'm talking to somewhere out there and that person is very aggressive and very rude to me, now, if I'm an emotionally intelligent person, I will try to understand how should I manage the situation so that it doesn't grows crazily out of my hand, and how can I manage this situation out so that my interest is also met and the other person's interest is also met. That is emotional intelligence, ability to understand what are my emotions, what the other person is doing and why they are doing. And somehow and interestingly, this skill can be learned. If you're not emotionally intelligent right now, you can build the skill for yourself and be good at it after 2 years, 3 years, or wherever you find yourself to be. So, at workplace, emotional intelligence plays an important role. If you are at a fresher position, if you're at a senior management position, or as an intern position, emotional intelligence can be a handy tool for all of you. First is constructive feedback instead of personal criticism. Constructive feedback, if for instance, I'm not done something very great and you are my boss and you can come and tell me, there's two ways that you can come and tell me, hi Chanya, you haven't done this well. Let's sit and discuss how we can do this because these are some areas that I think the work can be done in. Or you can come and bash me out, give me like, what the hell is this? What have you done? This is the two different things that you can do. Either you can give me a constructive feedback, which an emotionally intelligent person will do, or you can give me a personal criticism that will affect my performance, my morale, and how I take the workplace to be. Second is supporting colleagues through recognizing emotions and working to reduce stress. Like, for instance, if you're a team of 10 analysts and your team of 10 interns, and you're seeing your workmate is struggling with a task profoundly, and you can just go and help them out. That's a very great workplace skill to have. And that person might not remember you might not be remembered in that organization for the kind of work you did, but you might be remembered in that space for how you helped other person who was struggling with some work into managing this out. Keeping calm and being productive under pressure. Calm and productivity are calm, productivity, and pressure are three situations which can counter off the balance of an organization very quickly. Like, if you have to, either you can go like all jiffy about it, why is it not done, how it is not done, or you can be calm, you can maintain the serenity of your organization, and you can also deal with the pressure. The last is resolving conflicts, resolving complex problems that we discussed in the starting of the situation. This is how an emotional intelligence, the skill of emotional intelligence, looks at the workplace. Is it clear, or do you have any question regarding that we can go on the last session? part of this session, but is it clear? Can you give me a yes or no on this? And if you are emotional intelligent person, how would you, do you think that you will be able to put this in your resume, in your work, like when you're applying for your jobs? Great, great. Thank you, all of you, for the response on this. We'll go ahead then. The second skill that we'll focus on this is extremely vital. It can be a discipline in itself, that is communication. Communication at work, and even you guys are in college, you guys are communicating with your internship coordinators, or you're communicating with your placement coordinators at very normal times. And what kind of relationship that you develop with these people, with your professors and everyone, is dependent on how you communicate with them. Are you like nice to them when you're communicating? Are you aggressive to them? Are you assertive with them? What kind of communication are you doing with them? Effective communication at any stage can be transformative for you as an individual and for the teams that you would be working with. Communication at work can come in any form. It can be in terms of your presentations that you're building. Right now, you and I are communicating with each other, where you're giving me responses on the chat box continuously. And it can be through presentations, updates on email, Slack, Skype, whatever your organization would be using. Meeting customer representatives. If your dream organization is in a D2C brand, then how are you talking to the people out? That is communication that is happening out. What is informal communication? How do you communicate with your team members? How do you communicate with the person who sits right beside you at work, or who sits right beside you in the class right now? That is communication. So these are some tips that I have on communication for you. And I think if you can implement 2 or 3 of these, that is one new skill that you'll be taking with you, because communication is vast. There's verbal communication, non-verbal communication, that is the body language, how you present yourself. So this is some quick tips. And I think if you are able to implement 2 of these things in your daily communication, you'll be upping your game by 5 to 10%. First, be clear with the goal or objective of your message. So in the generation that we are in the times we are in, everyone is short of time. Everyone is so much addicted to quick emails, quick reels, and social media. You have to be clear on what you want to communicate in a second. If you don't tell what you want in the 5 or 10 seconds of your communication, you're losing the interest. If you have a chance, plan what you have to say. For instance, if you're going to a recruiter and you're sitting for an interview, just try to place some points and arguments that you want to make a little before you go in. Just don't make it too much impromptu at that time. Kuch cheezein you can decide for yourself what you're going to tell the recruiter beforehand. State your objective or main point at the start and then go through details. So that's a very great communication corporate technique that is used, where you can tell when you're starting, when you're talking to your manager, when you're talking to your internship head also, because that person is also running around the whole day. Tell them what you want, what is the main point, and once you get the attention on that main point, then go through details. Simple phrasing to convey a point. As simple language you would use, and that easily you will convey a point. That was a very great distinction I saw when I went for my master's and I was in proper academic course, and I used to write papers with complex language because that's how we had always seen academic as. But one of my professors, he didn't mark me well, and when I went to him, he was very clear that what language have you used? It's so complicated. You should write in a language which is very simple to understand. Like if I go through your sentence right now, if I listen to your sentence right now, I'm able to understand what you are saying, and I don't have to repeat myself to understand it more. So the language that you're using, whether you're talking to your professors, whether you're talking to your internship heads, coordinators, placement cells, or after that to your managers, should be simple. Have a very clear ask on what you want. Experiment with different communication structures and practice out. As I said, communication is a vast space for you. So understand which communication structure works well for you. If you are talking to your internship head, how should I ask him for that right position that I'm looking for? How can he help him? Practice it out. Like if you're going to talk to him, just practice in your head for 3 to 4 times so that you know what you want and you can communicate it clear. Yeah. So is the communication part of the skill clear? Like first we have done emotion intelligence, the second is communication. Can I get a yes or no in the chat box, please? And are you guys ready? I want you to conceptualize when I'm speaking about these skills, how would you be putting it in your resumes? If you're a great communicator, if you think I write really well, how would you tell your dream recruiter or your dream organization that I'm a great at communication? Naveen, we can take your question at the last part in the Q&A round. I want you guys to keep thinking how you're going to apply each of these skills to your resumes and how we can sit and discuss this out. Now, the third skill that is going to be my focus today is problem solving. If you remember, we talked in the first data point that I shared that many college students who are transitioning to workforce, they find problem solving as a great challenge for them. Like, how do I view this problem? How do I structure it out and get through this? Problem solving is ability to basically think on your feet and to remain calm and contribute to the problem solution process. In the economy, in the market, in the industry, there are different dynamics that are changing across industries. If you're going for an ICICI bank job, banking systems is changing. There are new regulations every day. If you're going for a software development job at Infosys, technology is grasping with different changes every day. So how do you add to this process will actually kind of is going to be like a 1% addition to how you grow your career in the same organization. And when you're applying to another organization, how do you put these skills to practice? So problem solving is basically an asset in any organization can have. If you're going in a startup, if you're going in a huge organization, wherever you go, if you can add a solution to an existing problem by 1% also, you're an asset for them. Problem solving actually reflects on various competencies like logic, creativity, resilience, imagination, lateral thinking, and determination. And these are some skills that you will see a lot if you are seeing a detailed job descriptions. They put this out indirectly, directly, like creativity, logic, ability to work in such situations, complex situations, ability to identify better way of doing things, proactive thinking, and knowing how to get things done. Is this a clear skill? Do you think it's a power skill for you? Are you good at this one? Problem solving? Is problem solving such is a clear skill for you guys? Yes, great. And if you're a great problem solver and if you think that this is something I want people to know in my resume, please start thinking about it, how you want to do it for you. And if some of you are learning how to solve it, these 6 skills that are mentioned here, logic, creativity, write these down for yourself in a paper so that you can reflect on this, how some of these skills I have and some I want to build for myself. Just it's a simple process. Don't overwhelm yourself, but know which areas you want to identify and you want to build for yourself. The last skill that I'm going to talk about is leadership. So one thing I want to tell about all these 4 skills, these are disciplines in themselves. Like we can talk about it for like it's a proper semester course that we can have for this. But I want to take you through quickly through all these skills and understand key what exactly the market requires and how you can build this for yourself. Leadership is something that we all have heard about it. in schools and colleges when there were prefectorial positions, yeah, kuch competition, if you're going for inter-school or inter-college competition, there's one leader who is leading the team. So we all have heard about leadership. So leadership is not in an organization, in a college experience, in a master's course. It's not limited just to the top executives of an organizations. Companies like to identify and hunt the innate capabilities of every person they are hiring from day one, and they can give you small tasks to understand if you're going through the process of interviewing to understand, do you have that skill? Like after 10 years, if you are in the organization, how will you be adding to them? Ability to lead is a multifaceted. It's not like if I know this one thing, I can be a good leader. It refers to your abilities to motivate team members to do great work, and not just push them, not through fear, just to motivate them to get things done. It is the ability to build trust and influence. In any business, in any organization, trust and influence is very important. Communication. So all these skills that we are talking, as when we were talking about that LinkedIn survey also, I told you that all the skills are in combination with each other. They intersect at spaces. Similarly, communication and leadership intersect at many spaces. If you're talking to your team, if you're talking to your group of people also, how are you putting it out? Creating a positive, collaborative, and inclusive work environment, it comes to the top leadership of an organization, but yet is a leadership skill that you can build for yourself from now. If you view yourself at some position after 10 years, 5 years, then this is something that will come very handy to you. And start thinking on how you put this on your resume. And please let me know through chat box if it's a clear skill or not. Shriman, we'll do your question at the Q&A round. Is leadership clear to you? Perfect. Thank you, Naveen. Thank you. Yeah, great. So, like we have discussed the 4 skills, and I've all talked to you about how you should be putting these skills out in your resume. I have a copy of resume here. Help me understand, is this a good resume? Yes or no? Simple. Just go, take 2 minutes, see this resume, and let me know if it's a good resume as per you. Yes. Okay. All right. No. Yes. So we have a divided opinion on this. We have 50-50 on this again. All right. Okay, so 60-70 people think it's no. Great, yes, not a good resume. We have to make change, okay. Great. I think I agree with most of you who have said no and we have to make changes. 50% no, need specific outcome, change resume. Okay. I think I completely agree on that part, because I'll just take you to the next slide to give you a clarity on this. This is something that there are so many resumes get tailored. There many resumes get altered out of the job search system. And these are 7 points that are figured out ki in reasons ki wajah se resumes don't go ahead. What exactly do the mistakes that we make in resumes? And I'll be honest, it took me a while to understand in my undergrad and masters to make great resumes. It took me a lot of time to understand what actually is needed. So these 7 points can give you an overview exactly of how you can ignore these mistakes out in this resume and make great resumes for yourself. So in the first part, this person has written a qualification summary, and it's more of a objective that is given where he or she is telling what kind of position they're seeking and apply their years and years of experience. So at this moment, when recruiters are looking through resumes, they want a summary statement that tells the achievements of that person, Tell the skills of that person. When we are talking about all the 4 skills that we have spoken to it, how do you show yourself that I owe these skills? These are my skill sets. How do I put this in my summary? Then, second point that I want you to focus is on define achievements than job descriptions. So when you are writing out your job, when you're telling your work experience, when you're telling your work history, don't spend too much time on just telling the factual information. That is, I worked there, date, and everything. That is important. But tell what you achieved during this. If you interned, I interned with NDTV during Lok Sabha elections of 2019. So when I'm writing about my experience of Lok Sabha elections, I can just write, I worked as a uh, editorial intern for Lok Sabha elections 2019. Interestingly, that person knows what I did, but they don't know what I really achieved. So if I'm writing my resume, I'll let them know that I transcripted scripts, I followed leaders, I understood what work processes are going, what exactly the experience I gained from working at a Lok Sabha election that makes me eligible to get hired for my next position. Simple as that. What are your achievements during this? The third point I want you to focus is build your resumes ATS friendly, that is application tracking system. So if I'm applying to a huge organization like ICICI Bank, as one of you mentioned, now you want to be using a proper tool to churn out the resumes which are right for them, which are not. So you need to build resumes that do not get filtered out of that space. You need to write down your core competencies and keywords in clear terms. Don't wrap it among sentences. Be very clear on what skills do you have, what systems can you work well with. The fourth point that I want you to go is word choice. Opt for right words to share your experience. It's very important. Just give me a sec. Now, Abel, what kind of words are you experienced? Did I learn this? How did I learn this? So when you're telling I did this role, tell what kind of achievements you had, what kind of experience you had. Keep your sentences concise and crisp. Don't write very long sentences because that may lead the reader or the viewer lose their interest. So keep it very crisp. Last and two very important points is that not one type of resume works for every profile. I think I spoke about it initially. When you're building resume, and if I'm sending it to ICICI and I'm sending to HDFC or SBI also, I will make 3 different resumes for 3 different positions because not every organization is same and not every job requirement is same. Last point is format your resume to be easy on the eyes. So what kind of font size are you using? What kind of spacing you are doing in your resume? It's very, very important on how you put your content out. These are the 7 points that are basically very universally known that if you are building a resume, try not to make these 7 mistakes so that you can make your resume stand out in this pool, and then you can keep customizing it and keep learning from your experiences on what is working for you, what is not. Is it clear? Can we go ahead? Yes, I think one of you has mentioned the letter alignment is different. Absolutely. Okay, great. Ayan, I think we are left with 12 minutes. Do you want to start the Q&A round and we can go through this?
Yes, yes, you can start the Q&A. We have some questions in the Q&A section and in some
Yeah,
chat. You can
yeah,
pick up from there.
absolutely.
So Shriman K is asking how to mention problem-solving ability in resume. Generally, he just put problem-solving skills in part. Is it a good practice?
So problem solving is a life skill, essentially. And when you're putting this in your resume, don't write, I'm a great problem solver. Instead, write how, if you have worked in a college society, for instance, if not an internship, write like this, if this challenge came, like, how did you solve that thing? Give evidences of your skill rather than just telling, I'm a great problem solver. as much in a resume, as much as evidence, and as much as in evidence you can just put this out, would be much better for you to create a better impact and create a better stand for yourself.
Yeah. Naveen is asking a question. How to simplify a complicated message when they are trying to communicate with their colleagues or to their HR recruiter?
Being very clear about what you are asking them. So, like if for instance you are asking them for an opening of a position, you can write a essay to them of 800 words. If avoid that, because no one has time to read out those 800 words. Have a very clear ask that this is what I'm looking for. It's a very golden rule for cold emailing also. When you are asking them, ask them for guidance, for support. What exactly are you looking for, and whether it's feasible for them or not. It's a sign of respect also that you show to the other person when you are asking them this, like their convenience and feasibility too. And it's a very golden rule that you can use for your cold emails and pitches also.
Yeah. So Vinay is asking how to mention the leadership skills in his resume, basically.
So, Vinay, if you have taken some leadership positions, do mention them out in your work experience. If you have led a team of some people and led to some impact, you can also mention that out in your work experience. But do not just write good at leadership somewhere. Do not write it directly, but try to find ways from your experience that how do you make it more evidence based? How do you give the right examples to make your point?
Yes. David is asking
Yeah.
that whenever he applies either through LinkedIn or to any of the job sites, his CV gets rejected due to the ATS problem there.
Yeah.
So how can he improve his resume so that his chances of getting a call from the HR recruiter gets higher compared to any other person?
So, firstly, I think Vinay, the 7 points that I mentioned. First, key focus on the keywords. In any ATS thing, they are looking for the right keywords. So you can actually do some research on this, on what kind of when you identify which role you are applying to, then identify which keywords are actually being used for that. You can talk to a friend, you can talk to your mentor, and you can even talk to your professors about it, which keywords are the right ones to use here, and try sending out resumes with some keywords and see what kind of response you get, and align it properly. Make sure your CV, your resume is well formatted, is well, and there's no grammar mistakes also. Grammar mistakes, spelling mistakes, avoid them. It doesn't have a great impression on the recruiter also. But mostly focus on your core competencies. Make sure that you're listing them down at the bottom or somewhere, so that they get highlighted by the system, and your resume gets a good fair chance to go ahead.
Yes, definitely. Giovanna is asking that you have shown three suggestions for your resume. She's asking for a fourth one. So can you tell that?
Where can I see this question? I didn't get it actually, which point she's
Yeah.
mentioning.
So in the Q&A part of the blog options.
Okay, what are the four other resume suggestions? You only showed three. Okay, I think something would have gone. I'll just share my so the first essential point is that when you're giving a summary, when you write a summary on the top of your resume, not just tell what kind of role you are looking for, tell them what skills are you bringing in for that role. Tell them what you have done before this, like a brief summary of your entire professional or a career journey. Second point is define achievements. So when you're writing about one of your internships that you might have done at one place, don't just write the name of the organization, your position, and dates of doing it. Tell what kind of work you did, what kind of challenges you faced, what kind of work actually, if you have some quantifiable data for that, that also works well. If you have an experience from that, make it crisp and concise, but do put your experience in there. Third point is ATS friendly. I think I discussed that in the last question too. Fourth is word choice. What kind of words are you choosing for yourself to present yourself and your experience? Fifth is spelling mistakes and grammar. Sixth is formatting. And seventh is tailoring your resume for every role and position that you're applying for.
Yeah. So we have Mohit here. He has a very interesting question.
Yeah,
So how to answer the tell us about yourself question in an interview? So
that's
who
a
would like to
very
answer that?
that's a very interesting question, Mohit, because sometimes even I struggle with that. But what I'll suggest you is start writing it down. Like when if I'm going to meet someone and if I'm meeting a person who might be interested in what work I'm doing and can be a potential client for me at this moment, I will tell them my first sentence should hook that person's attention. You should be, when you are telling them, like, hi, I'm Mohit, I'm studying at this college. Why don't you start with something that will hook the attention of the person? Research about the other person. If you're meeting a HR head of an organization, try to break that ice at the first point. If you know something different about them, if you know that the past experience, if that person has worked in an organization where you have interned previously, so you start talking about that organization first because that will click well with them. So find out first, write it down what you want to say, make it short, make it crisp. Because your story is interesting to you, how do you make it interesting for the other person? Know whom you're going to be meeting, do some research, go through their LinkedIn, understand what kind of past experiences they have had, which college did they go to, something common. If you can find for yourself, you're in a good luck then, because that's a great conversation starter for you.
So now we'll take the last question,
Yeah.
and it's from again Shriman. So if we have only internship experience as a team of five and successfully completed a capstone project, how to portray in this resume and as a good practice for a fresher?
Okay. Yeah, Tony. Okay, that's actually good. You can use this as a great opportunity for yourself, because if it's a team of 5 people, that means you will have a great opportunity to do more work and get more opportunities for yourself. Because in large organizations, in internships, you get very less work. So you can say that how you were part of a very small team and what kind of different roles you did. If you get to add some value to different teams also, because if it's 5 people, there would be lots of work and division of work gets very unclear in such small teams. So use this power of 5 as a leverage for you by telling everything that you have done in crisp and concise manner, and that can also be a great opportunity for you to tell if you have been into problem solving processes, if you use your logic and clarity of messaging to get your organization through something. Use this as a leverage. I think in every situation you need to identify, if it's also a 500 people team, identify your leverage in each of the experiences that you have had so that you can take it yourself ahead with that.
So now we'll just wrap this up. So a
Absolutely.
heartfelt thank you for your fantastic webinar. Your insight and practical tips were incredibly valuable for the students. Your
Thank you.
expertise has ignited a passion for a career growth. We truly appreciate your time and dedication in guiding our future professionals. Thank you, Chanya.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Have a nice day.
You too. Thank you.